Come gather ye friends around your flickering campfires and listen to tales of slithering, wriggling and long forgotten evil.
Slithering, wriggling, forgotten evil? Is this about the festering Tupperware in Tombo's car?
Mummy, it's wriggling!
Cosmopolitan magazine states that fermented foods are good for you.
But it makes no mention of the health benefits of fossilised food.
Well, that's on them then. And also, what's it got to do with...
The silly history boys shoe!
Well, today's show is a most slithery medieval legend entitled The Wyrm of Lambton.
And it's from Northumberland, a part of the world that we silly boys have come to know very well.
He's right, listener. I, Tombo, just me, have booked us a plethora of live shows in 2025. We'll all be at Alnwick Castle from the 26th to the 30th of May and the 17th to the 23rd of August, and also Warkworth Castle from the 5th to the 6th of August.
Hi, Isaac!
And if you hate the others, like I do, and only like me, well, let me tell you this. Tom Fool's gigs are from the 21st to the 25th of July at Alnwick Castle, and the 2nd to the 6th of August, also at Alnwick Castle. See you there. I get lonely.
OMG, get over yourself, I do solo gigs too. But enough monstrous self-promotion. It's time for an actual monster, because this is a story with a dragon in it.
Long ago in the far north of England, between the 11th and 13th century, it doesn't really matter.
Ah, made up, is it?
Yep, there lived a young boy.
How you pet, me name's John Lambton, and I'm a right canny dirty need rascal, you know.
He was, as stated, something of a rascal, always off in the countryside making mischief.
Aye, I'm into it all, scrumping, bird nesting, cow tipping, fly tipping, curb crawling.
His father, though, was a knight, the king's trusted man in the north.
Which king?
I don't know, Bilbo, it's made up. Anyway, he was in charge of keeping the king's peace and watching the Scottish border.
Aye, that's me job, making sure no one pinches out from me mate, the king,
Oh, you've got some lovely things, Mr. England, for me. Can I deep fry them?
You set 1 foot over that border, Jock, and I'd cut you down to cranky height.
Ah.
But there we are, a well-timed, dated reference, and he's gone. But others won't give up so easily. Hey, it's a tough life up here on the march. My son will have to grow up tough. Huh? Here he comes now.
Crocodile shoes! Crocodile shoes! I left my...
How are you, John? Where have you been all day? You're supposed to be helping me guard the border.
Oh, butter me Mars bar. There's some lovely stuff to deep fry down here, Angus. Okay.
Oi! Shoo! Shoo!
Oh!
See? We could have been deep fried in our beds. When will you learn some responsibility?
I am not bothered, Dad. I like the Scottish. One day I'd like to go up to the fringe. Aye, I'd like to pay £1,000 a week to stay in someone's sock drawer while they go on holiday. And I'll do a show all about how me love of sharks filled the relationship with me distant father. And it'll be dreadful and no one will come. But imagine, the people would probably flock to some bland, basic garbage just because someone who isn't funny from Just a Minute is in it. Well, then they were only in Just a Minute once. Or I could do improv. Ah!
How dare you? Shaming our family with the lowest of the low art forms. Come here, young John.
Oh no, PJ! No! No! No!
At the mention of improv and his son's many flaws, John's father gripped the lad by the ear and dragged him to his room in one of the tall towers of Castle Lambton. There he told him,
You can stay there and think about what sort of man you want to be.
I will, and I won't be one of those little bums who just does whatever you say because you're me dad like.
Son, I'm just trying to help you. The world is not all muddy knees and scrumping for cause. There are dangers out there. Dangers that it's my responsibility to warn you about. Scottish people, a career in the theatre, monsters even.
Ha! Ha ha! Monsters! Have a day off, Dad. There's no such thing as monsters. Now, leave me to do what teenage boys do in their bedrooms,
Well, now I'm disconnecting the internet.
Oh, no, I can't play Fortnite, which is what I was going to do.
You are daft, John Lambton. Think on what I've said.
His father slammed the door and stamped off to take out his frustration on the Scottish border.
Come here!
Meanwhile, John Lambton took out his teenage frustrations in the only way he knew how. By filing down the iron bars on his window until they came free.
Ha ha!
Tying his crusty bedsheets together into a rope and using it to shimmy down the castle wall.
Nice try, Dad. I'm off like...
So the roguish lad shimmied down into the Northumberland countryside, off to engage in his second favourite passion. Fishing.
Weir, the River Weir, my favourite body of water in which to hassle marine life in. Whoop! Right, now to get me tackle out it. Hang on, what's that in the bushes? It's enormous, like. What is that?
Oh, here, John. How's it going, like?
Phew, it's just you, me mate Gazza the gamekeeper. Alright, Gazza, what was you doing in the bushes like?
Hanging round in the bushes and car parks and other secluded forestry commission sites, making sure no one poaches from your father's land, aye?
He's got plenty of everything for himself, like. Yeah, I got a bite, like, aye.
Don't wine, John.
Well, I must have supposed to land it then. Oh, wow. Yeah, I tell you what, it's got some kick to it, this. Yeah, help us out, Gazza.
The two stout Northumbrians pulled and wound together, and eventually, from the heavy water of the River Weir came a catch that neither had ever seen before. It was big and black, long as an eel and thick as a draft excluder. Its bulbous eyes gaped in bony eye sockets. It was smelly and as slimy as rotten fish, but its mouth gaped wide. A mouth that was full of small but sharp-looking teeth.
So, hey there. I am a jolly little fish.
Hello? Yeah, you're not that little.
And you're not that jolly looking.
Please, if you let me go, I'll give you 3 wishes.
There's something about this wormy fish thing, John. I don't trust it.
Oh, no. Shut up.
That's his maybe, Gazza, but I love a nail pie, so it goes in the keep net, like.
What? No, please.
All that day, John Lambton fished the River Weir. He caught many fish, and they all went in the keep net with the odd thing from earlier. And after a merry day with his rod, the lad hoiked his full net onto his back and strode home as the sun began to go down.
But as he walked over the hills to home, he heard odd noises coming from the net on his shoulder.
Fish. Oh, yes, you'll get the eyes and the heads and the backs and basically all the fish.
As he passed by the old well on the hilltop, he realised that his keep net was wriggling no more.
Where's all me fish gone? Yeah, now it's just you, you slimy, stinky, horny eel, you.
What did you call me? Oh, yes, the horns I've got.
Did you eat all my fish?
Yes, but I can talk, and I'm clearly magic. So can we address that?
No, we can't. You're a naughty fish, and you stink so, and I'll not even be making an eel pie out of you.
Great, thanks.
Aye, so I'll do the most environmentally friendly thing, and hire you down this well.
Oh no, not the well, please.
There we are. All's well that eel's well. Ha 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 ha.
John Lambton, you little germ, you!
Oh yeah, how are you, Dad? Sorry about sneaking out, like.
What is the point, John? You never listen. You never think of others. I give up.
Oh, but what?
Here, take this bag of gold. It will serve as your inheritance. Leave Lambton and don't ever come back. Goodbye.
Oh, Dad, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be such a hoop, like.
Well, you were.
John's father walked away. The tears rolled down John's face as he regretted his youthful folly.
Oh, Dad!
But no sooner than the first wet, sloppy tear had run off John Lambton's face, there was a call of a trumpet, and then all of a sudden, the road was full of knights.
Clear the road, if you would.
Oh, sorry, pal. Can you give us a moment?
No. Get out of the way, crying child, or I shall fillet you in the most stylish and regal fashion.
Look, pal, I don't know who you are, but I promise you, I am a spunky young fella, like.
And I am Richard Coeur de Lion, and I'm King of England in it. Supplicate thyself, you dog, or thou diest.
King Richard, I didn't recognise you. Please don't kill me.
Oh, that's all right, young man. Hey, is that money you have there? Oh, lovely, thanks. As you may know from listening to episodes 80 to 82 of the Silly History Boys show, I have beggared the realm to raise a mighty crusade!
God and his mates.
Oh, wow. A crusade. Surely that's the sort of place where a man might make something of himself.
Well, I mean, it's the only thing I'm really remembered for. I'm sure we can find it together.
Disowned by his father, John Lambton travelled with King Richard's crusade, which we silly boys were also forced to go on in episode 81, Lionheart 2, Crusading for a Bruisading.
You may not have necessarily heard John Lambton, but we promise you he was there on the deadly sea crossing, the terrible sieges at Jaffa and Acre, and on that terrible road of blood that led to the dusty carnage of Arsuf.
John did many a heroic deed that we don't have time to go into, but it is safe to say that via many acts of suicidal courage, John Lambton grew from a rascally boy to a solid chap. You'd let him walk your dog or feed your children while you go on holiday.
Unfortunately, he was not the only character in our story that grew. As the years passed, odd noises began to be heard from the well on the hill.
Sheep and cows began to disappear from the fields.
There was something abroad in the countryside. Great trails appeared snaking across the fields, crushing the grass flat with a great weight, as though something massive was slithering across the moors. Oh, whatever could it be?
Shush. One wintry evening, as the sun began to fall behind the hills, a little Geordie girl called Geordie Jenny had been sent to fetch water at the well, and also indulge in her secret nighttime graffiti habit.
Yep. Oh, curse my weak child's arm.
Howie, that's the water up. Now for the art. Now, how many C's What was that? Hello? Is there someone fallen in the well? Are you all right down there? Yep, you seem fine. Bye. But as Jenny tried to skip back down the hill began to move.
The earth cracked and split, and from the broken well, a great slimy black shape heaved itself out of the ground. And swallowed the poor child whole. House prices in Lambton were about to plummet.
Eye of newt, toe of frog, wool of bat, and tin of monster energy drink.
Morrow, good woman. Forgive me for interrupting you making soup in the middle of this desolate crossroads.
It's a casserole.
I beg your pardon. I fear in this fog that I have lost my way. Tell me, is this the road to Lambton?
That it be, though it's much changed since you left, John Lambton.
How? How do you know my name? I've been away on crusade and I've lost my accent.
You've lost more than that, young Johnny, my lad.
Don't lad me, missus. I am returned a knight, dubbed by King Richard himself, amidst the vanquished Saracens on the bloody field of Arsuf.
All the dangers you have faced pale compared to the evil that is risen here.
Lady, what the flip was that?
Your unfinished business.
Right. I'm pretty sure I flushed it before I left, actually.
No! The creature you caught and irresponsibly hoyed into that well was a dragon. A black worm that has grown into a monster that now devours all in its path and leaves fair Northumberland in ruin. It spews forth a vile poison so powerful that the land itself withers and dies.
No. What a reckless, handsome fool I was. Good lady, my vows of knighthood compel me to put right this wrong. Where will I find this dread worm?
Look you, John Lambton, for Worm Hill, where the creature wraps itself half a dozen times around its blasted slope and waits for its prey.
My thanks to you, madam. I shall bring the edge of my blade to this beast.
Wait, before you go, heed my words. If by some miracle you slay the beast, the dark powers it is aligned with require a sacrifice. If you vanquish the worm, then after you must kill the first living man you encounter, or you and all your descendants shall be cursed for all time.
Right. Bit of a bummer.
I don't think it'll come up, to be honest with you. The monster has eaten scores of knights whole.
Oh, great. How reassuring. Thank you, bye. Onwards, Mrs. Clippity-Clop.
Don't forget John Lambton, the first living man.
Sir John Lambton rode across the fields of his boyhood, so green in his memory, now brown and fallow. Above the dead land hung a thick miasma of fog, and through the mist and the rot, he galloped on towards the creature's lair at Wyrm Hill.
It was not difficult to find. The stench he recognized from that fateful day he had first caught the creature was strong on the air. He followed his nose until eventually he saw it.
Vile and vast was the creature, wrapped like a python around Wyrm Hill. It was so big that Sir John could barely see the mound on which it had coiled itself, like a malevolent dog poo with horns and teeth.
The beast slept. Rumbling snores like a caravan of silly history boys echoed across the mist. Its horned dragon head rested upon the broken well at the top of the mound. Its eyes were closed, but under their slimy lids was a faint green glow.
Well, he's put on some buck.
The dragon's eye flicked open.
Don't we all as we get older, John?
Well. So, you've had a voice change as well. Full Cumberbatching it, are we?
Indeed. Or my closest approximation. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yes, all right, don't spoil it. How do you know my name?
Oh, we go way back. I have used your name to toast too many meals to count. And I have eaten so many meals since that day you hoyed me into the well. Here's to you, John Lambton, the founder of the feast.
Yes, all right, Benno. We know that you like crawling on all fours and being a dragon. And I see you've been chewing the scenery round here. Well, that stops today. I give thee fair warning, Worm. Leave this place, or it shall go ill with you.
Do one, you little tinned Geordie. Lambton is mine to torment.
You hoped you'd say that. Prepare for an absolute lancing, you sinuous punk. Charge, Mrs. Clippity-Clop! Charge!
With a flick of his spurs, he and Miss Clippity-Clop are flying across the yellow grass.
But the worm shimmers, unwinds. Its vast tail whips lightning fast and clotheslines John out of the saddle.
The knight lands splat on his back in the mud.
But his lance is still in his hand, and he does that whole Bruce Lee leg thing and flips himself up onto his feet.
It's called a kick-up.
The worm is slithering towards him, its long neck making like a serpent to strike.
John Lambton wipes away the mud, flicks the lance up like a javelin, and lets fly.
Stitch this.
The dart flies true towards the beast's vile head, but the jaws snap and the lance is splinters.
And something rumbles deep in the worm's coils. The black body ripples, and the dragon throws back its head and fires a great green stream of sizzling throw-up towards the knight.
He hefts his shield just in time to deflect the glowing green death.
Oh my god, the smell!
The rank stench chokes his nostrils. His face burns as flecks of venom spatter onto him, and...
The shield rots, rusts, and dissolves to a melted handle.
Your acid reflex must be terrible. Reckon I have something for that.
Brave John Lambton closes with the beast, his sword flickering faster than the serpent's tongue.
Take this, and that, and also this.
But the blade slides and slips uselessly off the monster's slimy skin.
And then something very strong is wrapping around him, crushing and squeezing.
Not a bad effort, Johnny boy. Certainly better than the other nights I feasted on.
You'll pay for this, you winding dastard!
I don't think so. Dinner time, Lambton.
The beast opens wide, and he can smell its stinking breath as its terrible maw closes.
The coils shift a fraction, and the knight can reach the dagger in his belt.
Floss with this, monster!
The dagger sticks right in the roof of its horrible mouth, boiling away in the venom, but enough to let John Lambton slip down and down, through the black coils and away from the needling teeth.
He lands in a heap at the base of the twisting worm's body, and he watches another bulging salvo of poison come rippling up the beast's torso.
And the knight draws back his mailed fist and drives it hard into the worm's vile gut.
Within the creature, the poison squirts in all the wrong directions, back down its throat, firing through its nostrils and seeping through those glowing green eye sockets.
Gross.
Like getting pop up your nose, listener, but worse.
It is just the distraction that John Lambton needs. His loyal horse gallops by, and with his hand in his mane, he vaults onto his back and away.
And as the monster howls in pain, it thrashes and tears the earth in its fury, ripping the land apart in its rage as it howls after the night.
I'll get you, John Lambton. I'll get you and I'll eat you. And all your Geordie mates, like a chicken Kiev pizza.
You're right, girl. That was a close one. Real scary John Carpenter vibes this week. That thing was terrifying. If only I had dealt with it all those years ago. What a truly fateful day's fishing that was. That voice. That terrible, terrible voice. It can only be Gazza.
Oh, we're all right, pet. Here, you'd best get out of here, pal. There's a reet awful monster boots here, like. I'm leaving myself.
And taking all your fishing gear with you, eh? If only I'd listened to you.
John? John Lambton? What happened to your accent?
Swallowed by the deserts of the Holy Land, old friend. Like I was almost swallowed whole by our last catch together.
Aye, he's a reet bugger, you little fish, aye. I'd like to get another hook in him to serve him right, but his hide's as thick as a milkshake.
Wait, that gives me an idea.
I've not got any milkshake, like, just me fishing gear.
I've a different meal in mind. Tell me, Gazza, do you still have that sinister garage in the woods?
Yeah.
Quickly then, this episode is running long.
The pair made haste to Gazza the gamekeeper's secret woodland garage, where they fired up Gazza's forge that he had for some reason.
There they pimp armour, welding the fish hooks to the scarred metal till the knight looks like some kind of punk hedgehog.
There. Now let us see if our friend is still hungry.
The pair followed the worm's stench to the river Weir, the place they had first encountered it.
There the creature had anchored itself around a rock, the water gushing and gurgling over its dark curls.
They watched a while as the vile Leviathan hunted for fish in the churning water.
Still hungry, are we?
I am indeed. Well, my next catch is sure to be the most personal record. Won't you join me for dinner?
I'll stop that mouth of yours with my sword, snake.
You will try.
The knight stepped into the hurrying water and waded towards the horror.
Time for some marinade.
A wash of fell venom belched forth, but the knight threw himself down in the riverbed, and the current of the Weir swept the bile away before it could harm him.
That all you've got?
You test my patience, little Lambton. It's time I stopped playing with my food.
The black coils twist, and if the creature was fast on land, in water it was a blur.
The knight scarce had time to slam down his fish-hooked visor before it was on him.
The big black head slams him down into the river. The hooked jaws grab a flailing limb and toss him high into the air.
And the worm snaps the knight up like a dog with a biscuit and swallows him whole.
Yum.
No!
John Lambton is gone, munched up, whole, by his past misdeeds.
Now to wash it down with a few sheep and Range Rovers and... Ooh.
A shape can be seen travelling slowly but surely down the serpent's neck, causing considerable discomfort as it goes.
It's like I've swallowed a Lego pine cone.
The creature groans and creaks and bursts! Like a black banana unpeeling, the worm flops dead into the swirling river Weir.
The water sizzles and hisses as the poison washes away to the distant sea.
And a familiar face breaks the surface of the water.
Must have eaten something that disagreed with him.
How weird, John! Yous did it!
We did it, Gazza. All thanks to your fishhooks dishing out horrendous internal injuries.
Well, John, lad, so now you know what it's like to take responsibility for something.
Mr. John Lambton Sr.!
Aye, that's me. How does it feel to finally finish something, John Jr.?
Ha 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 ha! It feels... Oh, hang on. Wasn't there something I had to do?
Kill the first living man you meet, or be cursed for all time.
Nope, can't remember. Oh well, is anyone hungry?
You could eat, as long as it's not fish!
This stuff is burning my skin.
And the Lambtons were cursed for all time.
But they went out for tea all the same.
Because they'd forgotten the words of the mysterious old lady, 9 generations of the Lambton family were cursed to all flip.
For 9 generations, not a single Lambton would die peacefully at home. They all snuffed it in battle, or were executed, or met with some hilarious accident.
I suppose they could just be treasonous medieval nobility out for themselves and getting caught.
Ah, well, stick Worm Hill into Google Maps and you'll see, at the very least, the place is real.
Perhaps we could stop there on our way to a super fun summer at Alnwick Castle.
No.
Oh.
Worry ye that frown upside down, fair Bob, for that was another exciting edition of
The Silly History Boy Show!
And for all the hithering, slithering, and poisonous throw-up.
We are...
As always,
Sorry.
Episode 106, The Lambton Wyrm, or John Lambton's The Thing, was written, produced and mouthed by the Silly History Boys. The parts of John Lambton, a knight, and extra voices were done by Rob Uncle Bob Bond. The parts of Gazza the Gamekeeper, Richard the Lionheart, and additional voices were performed by Stu the Pervert Perry, the Worm, the terrifying snake thing, and additional voices was mouthed by Will Uncle Bilbo Tristram, and the parts of Sir Lambton, John's dad, a very alluring crone, and Jenny, the little terrified Geordie girl, were given life by Tom Tombo Furmore. Big thanks to ZapSplat, for Zaps and Splats, and for music. Big thanks to Scott Buckley for his excellent music. Additional music by The Soundings and Future Mono. Big thanks to Lord Fastfingers for the intro music. Come check us out on our socials, Instagram and Facebook, The Silly History Boys. Keep an eye out for all future dates for when we will be back on tour with our general silliness. Okay, everybody, see you later, bye.
You've lost more than that, young Johnny, my lad.
Oh, Will, I bet that sounded awesome. So Flemmy.